Welcome to a new video. I've travelled over 10,000 miles across the world to try and catch a carp. You join me surrounded by snake and spider country. I definitely need to be watching my steps today. Wow, you don't get venues like that in the UK. That is awesome. How about that then? What a backdrop that is. And somewhere down there is a lake, and I'm hoping there's a few carp in it. Okay. Oh, we're going to jump down there. Yeah, that's super shallow. This is a workout. Oh. That's good, but I don't know how you get down there. Yeah, not getting down there. Unless I want to dive first. Nice bit of structure down there. This could be a good shout. It's quite deep there. Bit of sweet corn. The old faithful. Let's move on to the next one. A long way up now. Looks like I'm going for a walk instead of fishing. I really want to walk through all that brush. Like, how are you supposed to get to the water? Oh. I thought I was going fishing, not hiking. Well, this hasn't really worked out yet. God knows where I'm going now. Just can't seem to get close to the water. Well, I just disturbed something in the bush, and I think that is called a bush turkey. It looks like a turkey, so I'm going to go with that. There's some interesting wildlife around here, that's for sure. But yeah, that's like a wild sort of turkey thing. I think it's called a bush turkey. Looks pretty ugly. We'll leave it be. Well, I feel like I'm on a hike now more than a fishing adventure, because I'm so far away from the water that I'm just walking, really. I'm just hiking through the bush, which is really cool. You know, you don't get to do this sort of thing back home. And what's really different as well is everything's just so dry. The ground is dry, it's rocky, it's sandy. It's totally different terrain to what I'm used to. Obviously back home it's just wet and muddy. Whereas here, it's really dry and sandy, so it is quite different to being back home. I'm kind of right at the far end, which narrows in, and there's not really a lot of access. I've got a feeling a lot of that access is probably closer to where I parked. Oh, where am I going now? Clearly going the wrong way. If you haven't worked it out yet, then I am in Australia. Yes, I have travelled all the way around the world to try and catch an Australian carp. Well, not exactly. I've actually come on a holiday and to visit family, but at the same time, I'm going to try and see if I can catch an Aussie carp. Now, I've rammed as much gear into my suitcase as I can. I ended up having to give the pants and socks to the missus to stick in her suitcases, just so I could get enough gear to make this happen. So I've come out today for a bit of a walk around, a bit of a recce. I've walked, I think, about 3 kilometers already today. I am boiling. I'm already getting the sun, and it is still quite early in the morning. It's only about 9:30, but I finally found an area that I can access the water after doing a lot of walking around. So I'm going to get some rods sorted, I'm going to rig them up, get them in the wet stuff, and let's try and catch an Aussie carp. Right, I'm going to put a bit of bait in. This is basically what I've got with me, and that is some liquidized bread, liquidized biscuits, and some tuna. I have put this in a couple of areas, but this is the best sort of spot I've found so far. What I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to chuck it out in the middle, just beyond these reeds. Obviously this is going to sink down on the bottom. It's like a ground bait. It's a bit doughy, so I can throw it out and it'll sink down. And it just creates a bit of attraction to hopefully bring in some carp. And then I've just got some sweet corn, which I'm going to throw in just by hand in the same area. So this is my little net. This is a 26-inch folding net basically, and I've got a very short handle on there. These are both Corum. I've even got a set of bite alarms. Right, proper UK style. Yes, I bought some DNA PBs with me. Managed to get these through customs. Turns out they're classed as a lure, so you can actually bring them through. So I've bought a couple of pots of hook baits. See if we can catch an Australian carp on a PB pop-up. Here's the rig then, and I wanted to keep it fully UK style to try and catch my first Aussie carp. So I've got my Ronnie rig, I've got a 15mm DNA PB pop-up on there, and a simple leg clip setup. The rod is a NGT profiler. This is a 4-piece 9-foot travel rod, and I've got a DAM 6000 dark side reel on there as well. So everything is designed for compactability, so I could put it in my suitcase and bring it over. I've got 15-pound main line, which is just some Daiwa sensor, to be honest. And all I'm going to do is underarm it out to where I've put in that little bit of bait. Hopefully I can get a drop. Oh, it's not too deep actually. I've got a nice soft drop, so it looks like it's sandy. That is rod number 1 fishing. Rod 2 going out then, exactly the same as the first rod. Again, going to just flick it out, let it drop, and there we go. 2 rods are out fishing. Sink down that line. Well, the rods are out then, and yes, I am fishing full carp in Australia. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, to be honest, but it's very, very cool, and it's an incredible place to be doing it. This is Parramatta Lake, which is near Sydney in New South Wales, and it's a wicked place. Totally different to back home. Very dry, sandy, dusty, lots of rocks and boulders around. Access points are actually really hard to the water level because it's got a lot of rock faces and very high land. It's actually a hiking trail around here, which is what you walk around to access it. And there's not a lot of ways you can get down to the water level because it's very thick bush. And if you know Australia, you will know that there's quite a lot of nasty things around that if they bite you, you'd be having a very bad day. So I've been very cautious about where I'm going. I've only gone into areas that are quite open and I can obviously see around quite easy, so that I know it's safe to come into. Because the last thing I want to do is stand on something like a brown snake, because I'll be having a very bad day, and those guys are actually quite aggressive and they like having a bit of a nip. So yeah, I've been very cautious, but it's a mega place. It's got some carp in it. I've done a lot of digging online and I know that there's carp in here. I believe it's fed by the Parramatta River, which is fresh water. Maybe a little bit brackish, closer to obviously the sea, but generally speaking it's fresh water. So yeah, you've got carp in there. I think you've also got Australian bass, some catfish. I think you might have some flatties in there, flathead, and maybe a few other bits and bobs. I'm not 100%. But yeah, it's a wicked place to have a go. Very adventurous fishing. There's no carp anglers in sight, as you can imagine, and it's just something totally different. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. But I got a couple of rods out. I put a little bit of bait out there. Hopefully some fish turn up and show some interest, and we can catch our first Australian carp. Look at this for a place to go carp fishing. It is so cool, and this is just a small section of this lake. So this is basically sort of the bottom finger end, so it goes all the way up here and opens up to quite a large area further around there, and this actually goes all the way down the bottom to a creek, which I think is actually the Parramatta River that comes in down the bottom end. But it's such a cool place. It's so different to anywhere back home. You can see what I mean over here about all the rocky outcrops. A lot of where you're walking is literally at that kind of level. You're quite high above the water. And as you can see over here, it's just solid brush. And I've just got no confidence walking into, you know, all of this along here. I've got no idea what I'm going to find. So I've been very, very cautious. But yeah, it is such a cool place. And I mean, the weather is just absolutely amazing at the moment. So it's not too hot. It's perfect for me. Cool, look at that bubbler. Now, is that a fish or is that gas? What do we think? There's been quite a few like that coming up. I think it might be gas. But who knows? Hopefully we get a bite soon and we'll be able to tell you. Redo the rods. There's a lot of fish showing but nothing really happening, so just want to check everything's actually fishing properly. Yeah, see, that's sat there okay. It's definitely been, something's had a little go at it, probably turtle or something. Right, that one looks alright. Look at this one. Oh, this one's got a bit of weed on it. Looks right though. Again, it's got like a little chunk out of it, which I think is turtles. So go out a bit further. Well, that's both the rods recast then. They've got some little bits taken out of them, which I think could be turtles. I have been told that turtles will show a lot of interest in carp baits. So I'm thinking it might be some very small turtles have just sort of pecked and just taken a small little piece off of the pop-ups. To be honest, with it sat sort of off the bottom, sort of 1.5 inches, it's probably absolutely perfect for a turtle to eat. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. Obviously, if that causes me too many problems, I might have to change tactic. But at the moment, they're fishing still. So I've put them a little bit further out. Feels a little bit sort of softer at the bottom. So I don't know whether that's some sort of weed potentially. I'm not too sure. But we'll see if that makes any difference. And leave it there for half hour. I've decided to pack up and walk around a bit because nothing was happening. But this is what I was trying to say about the access. So much of this lake is so high up, you just can't get down to the water's edge without going through a lot of undergrowth. So yeah, access is very, very tricky. You can see over there, see there's again another sort of rocky outcrop, and everything else is just absolute solid brush, which I am not going through. So I mean, this is a great vantage point. You can see loads and loads of the water, but this is just one section. So this is one little section. The lake carries on going around there, and it opens up behind over the back of this rocky land here. So yeah, it's a very big bit of water. I've got no idea where the carp would be. There's fish showing all over. The fish that I've seen, I'm going to assume a bass. I've not actually seen a carp for definite. You know, along here with this vantage point up high, I would expect to see fish coming along the edges along here and see them sort of up in the layers or cruising through like shadows, but I've seen nothing like that. So I'm not really too sure where the carp are. You know, maybe they are just sort of spread out through this water system, and it's just a case of, you know, putting some food in and they'll come along at some point, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time, like with anything really. But at the same time, because I don't know it, it's very new to me. And although obviously I've done a lot of carp fishing, I haven't done any in this country, so it is very different. But you just do what you do, and hopefully it will pay off. But the environment here is amazing. Just look at this massive rock out sort of crop behind me, just goes up and up and up. And this is the environment, you know, it's absolutely mega. Really, really liking it. So picturesque. Just haven't got anything like this in the UK, so it is really, really cool, and I'm really enjoying it. So just the exploring side of things and the adventure side of it is absolutely mega. So even if I don't catch one, I'm just absolutely loving giving it a go. So it is getting warm now though, and I'm probably not going to be able to give it too much longer, so I'm going to walk a bit further, see what else I can find, and go from there. Apparently I'm approaching the reservoir lookout, which I'm assuming is going to be a really high point, which might be quite impressive. So this has kind of turned into a bit more of a hike than a fishing trip, to be honest. But I've just spoken to a lady walking around with her son, and she advised me not to eat anything from here because apparently it used to be a rubbish tip, which is crazy to be fair, but nature has certainly taken it back. And oh, look at that, there's a lizard. Then as you can see on that branch, there's a lizard sat there. Hopefully you can see that. Can you see him just sat there on that branch? Let's see if I can get a shot of him. There he is. How cool is that? I'll zoom in a bit. The zoom's not so great. Look at that. And that is the wildlife I'm talking about. I've seen loads of lizards and spiders. I've seen quite a few redbacks. But I've not actually seen many snakes yet. But yeah. There's a lizard. I think that might be a frill neck, I think that's called. Just catching a bit of sun. Awesome. Look at this here. I've just come across this opening. Unfortunately, you can actually hear the road here. But that is absolutely mega. Just looks awesome. I still can't see any carp though. You'd think there'd be some fish cruising along in these trees down here, like in the gaps through the lilies, but I've not seen anything. Can't believe it. But it's absolutely incredible, just so picturesque. Oh dear, quite enough warm for you. Jesus Christ, whoa, jeez. Oh my god, my heart's pounding. Well, I don't know what that was. That was some sort of snake. But it's just scurried off. I don't know if that was caught on the GoPro. But something was just down here then. And it shot off pretty quick, to be fair. But my God, that took me by surprise. I'd literally just seen a lizard about 100 meters behind me, so I put my GoPro on to see if I could capture anything else. Oh, there you go, so much. Oh no, it's another lizard down there. I wonder if it's a lizard. Didn't look like one. Looked like a snake. But Jesus Christ, that scared the life out of me. Well, if this was a bit shadier, this would be quite cool. God, it drops off deep down there. I've not really seen any carp, and it does feel very warm. We're getting towards what I believe is going to be the dam, so it's obviously going to be deeper as well down this end. So maybe because of the warm temperatures, the carp might spend more time in the deeper water where it's cooler. Oh, what's that over there? Ah, that's a cormorant. I'm definitely going to need to get some more liquids. I've only got a little bit left, and this is a hell of a walk. I am hoping I can get around here and this isn't going to get to nowhere, because if I have to walk all the way around, that is going to be a long way. Yeah, that's way too snaky. I'm not going up in there. Wow, I'm getting hot. Oh. Oh. Well, I've made it to the dam. That is wicked. Look at that. Made it right to the end now. I've done a mega walk. To be fair, it's been more of a hike than a fishing session. I've fished for a couple of hours, but unfortunately it hasn't happened, so I'm gonna have to get out again and try and catch myself an Aussie carp. But I will be fishing for a lot of other species as well, so obviously smash the subscribe button and keep your eyes peeled for lots of cool content coming up in the next few weeks. But anyway, I'm gonna call it quits now. It's getting hot. I need to go and get some more liquids, and I'm gonna maybe go off and fish somewhere else once I've cooled down and had a bit of grub. But smash that subscribe button to check out more wicked content. Watch this video here if you want to see me actually catch a fish. And until next time, get on the bank, be lucky, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 6:30 on the evening. See you then.